Welcome to the HMG Executive Leadership Spotlight. Here's our host, Hunter Muller.
Hello and welcome to HMG Spotlight. I'm Hunter Muller, founder and CEO of HMG Strategy. I'm here with Todd Loiselle. He's the CIO of National Food Group. Todd, congratulations on being an HMG Global Leadership Institute Small Cap CIO of the Year.
Thank you, Hunter. I sincerely appreciate it.
So, hey, we're studying leadership here. Leadership matters more than ever. What does visionary leadership mean to you, and what does being a visionary leader mean?
Hunter, when I think about leadership, in my opinion, it really starts with knowing the business first. One of the most important pieces of advice that I can offer, anyone is to truly understand and know your business better than anyone else. In today's rapidly evolving digital landscape, technology leaders are not just in support roles, but they're strategic partners, who can drive the organization forward. Understanding the ins and outs of your business, its market positions, its competitive challenges, and the needs of its customers is vital for making strategic decisions that align with and advance the company's goals. One of the strategic approaches that I've taken with every new company I work with is to take my IT team and conduct a day in the life session with the major areas of the business. We ask them to show us how do they do their businesses, what challenge they face. And this practice not only deepens our understanding of the business, but it also helps us to build trust with the other departments. It allows us to identify immediate areas for improvement, and it also leads to quick wins that help us to enhance efficiencies and build morale. I mean, by deeply understanding your business, you can better identify opportunities for innovation and efficiencies, anticipate and respond to threats, and guide your team in developing solutions that add real value to the business. It allows you to communicate effectively with leaders and stakeholders, build credibility, and be a true partner in driving the success of the company. So, in my opinion, you strive to understand your business from every angle and use that knowledge to build up your leadership, because if you don't know the business, your leadership doesn't matter.
Great stuff, Todd. Now, how would you describe National Food Group? What business are you actually in?
So at National Food Group, we're a rapidly growing organization. We've had double-digit growth for the last 10 years. We primarily sell dry and frozen goods to the correctional facilities within North America and K through 12 schools. So they're two dynamically different markets that exist. And the way that we work is collaboratively with those products that we have to be able to have certain branded products like ZZ's brands for our schools and have non-branded products that we can sell to the correctional facility.
Todd, innovation matters more than ever. What kind of interesting innovations are you looking at and driving right now?
In today's environment, we're actually working on two what I would call like AI ML projects. Our first project is what we're calling the bid estimator. And this was developed in collaboration with a company called Machine Learning Solutions. It's a team of experienced mathematicians and data scientists. So this project brings all of the K-12 school bids into one central repository. Here we can determine the probability of pricing based on various environmental factors, cross-referencing this with our ERP system to identify costs and availability. It allows us to present our sales group with opportunities that offer the highest gross profit margins. In essence, we're really turning our IT division from a cost center into a revenue-driven, by leveraging our AI and machine learning to maximize that profitability. The second project that we're working on is what we call the digital twin. And this is in partnership with a company called Ravago. And they're a leader in AI-driven solutions for B2B businesses. This project involves automating customer conversations and requisitions, turning dialogues into revenue-driving orders. We're using their technology to scrape government websites that are out there in our email inboxes for bids that are related to correctional sales. And then these opportunities are then centralized for review by our sales team, who can then assess the potential costs in the inventory. If an opportunity looks promising, The corresponding records are then created in our ERP system, which is NetSuite. This initiative it really helps to us enhance our efficiencies, our accuracies, our response time. I mean, both of these projects are perfect examples of how we're leveraging AI and machine learning to stay ahead of the curve.
Todd, when you work with the C-suite in defining your vision for the business technology roadmap, what is the business looking for most from you now?
I've been with the organization now for a little less than 2 years, and when I joined the organization, I started off with a 360-degree review. So, in my first 90 days, I looked at National Food Group and I said, okay, let's look at the entire business. You got to know the business first, and of course, there's a particular focus on IT, but my primary goal was to understand the business first and as rapidly as possible, and then I looked at how do we actually make money, and you do this actually with every business that you're a part of, but you want to look at how you actually make money, how the business is structured, and how it operates, and then you can go into the specifics of what IT infrastructure security do I need, what reporting and data analytics do I need, what software, what equipment, what process documentation, communication vendors, all those things, resources included, and then what I do is I develop a good, better, best recommendation for each area. I look at the complete cost as well as the timing estimates, and then I collaborate with our C-suite and the executive leadership team to prioritize and finalize these recommendations. And it's really at National Food Group, what it became is really a cloud-first scaling strategy that not only helps us address our immediate needs, but also serves as a solid foundation, for future growth. This is kind of the aha moment and the time where then you look back at your roadmap and then what you actually see for your challenges and see them marry up, and you get really excited because you're like, wow, not only have we strategized as a group in a C-suite group, but we have something that's really going to help us scale. And for growth companies, it's absolutely critical.
Exciting times, Todd. It sounds like you really have your hands around this tiger. What's next, and how do you work with your partners to effectively leverage their external expertise?
What I've had to do with each of the main companies that I've worked with is I'm always working with real growth companies. So even once you get in and you set the roadmap for, okay, here's what we need to do, and here's the future kind of 2 to 3. With the rapid growth of the businesses that I work with, you have to also look at what does your 3 to 5 look like, and then you have to go back to the table and you say, okay, we put these together, and you have to look at each one of the technologies, because some of the technologies that you need, for an $800 million company are vastly different than what you need for a $2 billion company. So if I just take the previous company that I worked with, when I joined them, we were an $800 million company, similar to where we're at, similar to a smaller company, which I'm with now, but we ended up being a $2.2 billion company in 5 years. And at the time, we're like, yes, that's realistic. And it's the same thing with National Food Group. Even though we're a smaller entity right now, we have all the capabilities of becoming that $800 million, or excuse me, that $500 million company, in 2 to 3 years. So again, it's relooking at that roadmap and saying, okay, once I hit these certain milestones, what technology do I need to ensure that the business can continue to scale and grow at the pace that it's looking to do?
Excellent. So that's kind of the business dynamics. I love the way you describe that. Talk to us about building a high-performing leadership culture, a high-performing team.
In building a high-performing team, it really comes down to, in my opinion, a lot of collaboration. It's working with individuals and not only showing them what is the art of the possible, but also helping to get there. I can give you an example of a previous company that I had worked with. Again, we were 800 million in sales. We were running an ERP program or application called Microsoft Navision. And if you're familiar with it, Navision is a smaller ERP. It's definitely not used very often in companies of that size. But we were not switching ERP systems, so we had to build a team that would be able to scale for growth. And for that particular technology, it's not like you can go to a PwC or one of the high-end consulting arms and just get talent. And there are some smaller boutiques, but in essence, that talent doesn't exist. So you have to either build it or you have to grow it. Or if you're scaling and growing as fast as we were, you have to do both. So it's about going out there. It's about networking with the community, but it's about building trust with the individuals in the community and then bringing them back onto your team. And then helping them to mentor somebody else. In my opinion, mentoring is one of the key things that any individual can do, whether you're in the C-suite or whether you're just a manager in your career. When you are mentoring others, you're learning from them, they're learning from you. But when other people see that you're mentoring other people, they also know that you care. And at the end of the day, all we want to do is we want to feel cared and loved, and mentoring somebody helps that, and it also helps with building your entire team. I'm also a firm advocate of taking your team out. Recently, we went kayaking in Ann Arbor, and with the entire team. And that was an amazing and fun experience, and it just helped everybody to gel further together. And once they came back, they were able to, just better work together.
Great stuff. And winning matters, right? Building a winning culture matters. How do you recognize when you've had a big victory, a big win, and how do you celebrate it?
I don't know that I'm a big celebrator of big wins. You probably should be. But by the time that we actually get the win, I'm always looking further down the road on what that next opportunity is and beginning to chase after it. I know that it's important to celebrate wins, and I do in my small way, but in my opinion, the best way to celebrate a win is to go find that next opportunity.
How do you prioritize, Todd? How do you prioritize the most important initiatives and projects for the business?
Oh, that's a great question, and it all starts with really me. Not to sound arrogant or whatnot, but if I do not have the rest of the executives aligned on what IT initiatives we're going after, that's my fault. That's incumbent upon me. So one of the key processes that I've put in place in every organization that I've been a part of is what I call an IT alignment meeting. So we have all of our projects, in one central repository, and within that, we classify things in the different buckets. Are they cost avoidance? Are they revenue generators? Are they savings? Are they just an enhancement? Are they initiatives that are out there? And then we look at putting in an ROI for each of those, both of hard savings or long-term savings, or how much profit it can generate. And then what we do is we get the entire executive team together and we talk about each of the key projects that are there. And we do this on a quarterly basis. And I know that may sound aggressive, but what it does is it allows all the other team members in the executive room to know what the priorities are. So if one of the executives, say we've got an operational executive and they want their project done immediately, they can see all the other projects that are there, and they can argue for their projects amongst the room. And at the end of the day, when we walk out of that room every single quarter, we know exactly what IT initiatives that we are working on, and everybody believes in it. And so then I don't have the typical sidebars that has happened in the past, where an executive wants their pet project done, and they want to have some sidebar conversations to get it done. When you get the whole executive room, looking at the IT initiatives, you're going after the right ones, and everybody believes it, and they're prioritized accordingly.
Yeah, Todd, great story. Love it. Love your communication style as well. Congratulations on being a 2023 HMG Global Leadership Institute Small Cap CIO of the Year.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
For more information, please visit hmgstrategy.com and keep up to date by following us on our social media platforms. Thank you.